I'm always envious of his choice of films, and you know the thing is, a lot of people try to be different and choose different films. And then what happens when they start clicking at the box office and everyone says, oh, I told you so. But I think this was one talent that we all thought would become really big, and you know, he chose his own path. And I'm so happy to say that all he did was take one film. But that one film sort of changed his course also, and he continues to make such fantastic decisions that we love it. On Star Stop, we have the very charismatic Sushant Singh Rajput.
Hello, sir. How are you doing?
I decided to change it up a bit. Normally, we introduce the hot guest in the middle always with us. But today, we decided to go there. And Kriti Sanon, thanks so much for joining me. One of the, I would say, the brightest prospects that we have in Bollywood.
Thank you.
This film is going to be riding a lot on what he's also managed to make. Now, he's got this equity that's running on him also. Earlier, you had the equity running on you as well also, you know, when...
Did I?
Well, Dilwale, of course you did. Now, even, I'm talking pre-release. But now what's happened is he's carrying this great equity. So, thank you for joining us on the show.
Thank you.
And I have to say, this is awesome. So, were you also surprised and so happy with the great accolades that came along his way for Dhoni when they came out? And were you hooting also and saying, yeah, our film is going to do really well for us?
Not
because
like that.
His box office collection is going to increase now.
Not like that, but obviously I was not surprised because I think that it is going to be a big film. Of course, knowing him, the kind of dedication he has and the kind of homework he does for everything, and then he's playing Dhoni, who's the captain. And yeah, so I knew, and I'd seen his videos, all the videos, the prep videos.
Talking about videos, I'm so sorry to cut you in between. Talking about the videos, so here we were shooting for Raabta, and the trailer came out, and I was trying to show off, so I was like, okay, please check out this trailer. And she watched it with a very nonchalant. I was like, yeah, good.
No, I was like,
and I was like, okay, did she? I mean, like, what's the problem?
She didn't understand the kind of work that went into making that shot.
Yeah, so
I'm not a sports person, guys.
I took
it's
a guess.
okay.
I guessed, and I showed her the videos of Dhoni. And then she realized that, oh, how good the trailer was. And that's how, yes. That's
so, yes, I'm not really a sports person. So, I didn't know Dhoni's body language and his shoulder movement and the things that he does. I didn't know all that. But I felt he was quite convincing. I was impressed with how good he was at cricket.
Yeah,
like his helicopter shots. Yeah. That much I knew, okay? I knew that.
And it was all done. So, I have to say that. So, apart from this is the first time I'm meeting you after the film.
Yes.
Congratulations on everything. And I went in there, wanted to see Dhoni, and I came out saying, I'm feeling bad for Dhoni now, because everyone's sort of putting your face on him, and it's unbelievable to have to do that, or to be able to do that to a living character.
Yes.
Nobody's been able to do that. He's alive, he's playing cricket.
Yes.
You know, and you can probably walk into the Indian team with the kind of knowledge that you've gained also with there. Were you also, a lot of people had, some liked the film, some didn't like the film, some had some issues, but everybody said, without Sushant in the film, this would have been not even a docudrama. So, I have not seen the kind of praise for a performance individually. And I have to say, I am sad about two things. That last year, I think you should have won every single award, keeping in mind Dangal as well, as a performer. There was nobody even close. And I think Amir sir is the best actor that there is. But you proved it beyond a doubt.
Thanks, man.
So I know that you had special mentions here and there. But did you understand what happened after that? I know you planned things.
Right.
But when the film came out and when people started praising you, you know, and the most so-called we know it all people also.
Yeah.
Did you smile?
Yeah, I did.
Finally.
And I was actually anticipating it, to be very, very honest, because as an actor, the most important thing is to convince yourself.
Yeah.
So that was the preparation for. So in my head, I was Dhoni, say, 4 months prior to the start of the film. And then while I was shooting with the film, Neeraj Pandey was very, you know him.
Yeah.
So he was convinced, the crew was convinced, and slowly and gradually Kiran More, who was training me, was convinced. So I got this feeling that yes, people are getting convinced without me trying to do his impression. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
because it wasn't a caricature, you were playing him. Yeah.
So I was kind of anticipating it, and when it resonated with the audience, yes, I had a big smile on my face.
So what was that? Was there a big celebration? Why do you don't seem to celebrate? I mean, apart from buying your $1 million cars and houses.
That's more than enough, I
That's
feel.
awesome, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So the perks at being very successful at whatever profession you do, it's just glad. I'm glad you're living your life also like that. Yeah?
It's not that I want to crazy things in my life. It was just, I was in my 4th grade and I had this miniature, the same car, and I found it in a noodles ka packet. So I wanted that car.
That time it seemed so cheap, no? When you actually go to buy it.
Just that. So it took me 20 years to realize that dream, and I actually bought the same color too.
Yeah, and you deserve every bit of it, man. And also, what I like is, actually the thing is, when I think of both of you, you know, both of you had a lot of press individually as people, you know. Before you came out into Dilwale also, there was so much talk. When Dilwale finished also, no matter how the film did, there was again a lot of talk about you as one of the big, bright prospects in Bollywood. There's so much of media attention all the time. And I know that it's a product of the day and age that we live in because of social media.
Yeah.
But does it scare you sometimes because you're not that many films old?
Yeah. No, I have to remind people I'm not that many films.
You know,
old.
people have forgotten. I was going like, hello, you know, it's just starting off.
This is your third film, right?
Yeah. This is my
And
third film.
him too. Yes, he's signed some 7,000 films, but they've not come out yet, you know. So does it scare you?
It doesn't scare me. I mean, I have sort of gotten used to it. I have sort of gotten used to the attention and the media and social media, which is like huge now. But yeah, I have to keep poking people and tell them I am only 2 films old. This is my 3rd film. So sometimes people categorize you in the kind of films that you do. That, okay, probably this is the kind that she likes doing. And I'm like, I've just done 2 films. How can you put me in a category? So only that bit is there. Otherwise, it's all fine.
And I have to talk to you about your interesting choice of films. We'll come to that in a bit. And also this very interesting promo, you know. Now, so this is one thing that really peeves me. It looks like another film. So if it looks, I mean, okay, so let's just put it this way. It doesn't matter how films look. Okay, it's the same love story that's being repeated for the last 7,000 years on screen. It's how it's portrayed and how it's there. And we will talk about it because I love the fact that lots of work goes into productions. And you know, you go out there to watch a film and you want to see how it is. Very, very impressive trailer. Why? Because as an actor, and I tweeted this also, and I said, it's just so exciting as an actor to be, you know, part of this, the different looks, the different body language. So it must have been awesome. I know he's been doing a lot of it, but I think this was a first for you where you had to do a lot of this, right?
Yeah, I think it was a first for me, and that's what sort of excited me to do the film. You know, when I heard the narration, I think firstly I just fell in love with the script. That was my first reaction, that wow, it just flows. And the way it takes you to these 2 different worlds and the way they're connected, and they're so completely different. So we've been jokingly saying that there are 2 films in 1 film.
Yeah, of course.
So that was very interesting.
Your characterization, your body language, your costume, everything is different.
Yeah, and both the characters are very different from each other. And also they're very different from me. So for me, that was like one thing I really wanted to do.
Is that tough for you to do, to switch? Like you said, you're still learning the ropes, so to say.
Yeah.
Was this a little daunting as a film to take on?
No, I was very excited, and I'm so glad that we did have a lot of time to prep. Like Dino was very, very sure that he wanted time to prep before we started the film.
When you say prep, do you say workshops, or do you say just lots of time with him?
Workshops, time with him, sort of build the character together, because these were characters that I personally didn't know, you know, as people in general. And we fortunately did have like a 2-month gap between the current time and the flashback. So that gave us time to get out of that contemporary zone and go into another world which we all were sort of discovering, and we didn't have a reference to that. So yeah, I think the prep time really helped.
You know, so one would have expected lots more CG and lots more VFX in your Dhoni, but that was all real. This was a completely blue screen, green screen kind of scene, which, by the way, you know, so with films like Bahubali, you know, upping the ante a little bit, I think people are now starting, see, anyway, in television, people like these kind of magnum opuses where you go back in time and all. So I think this will really help your film also. But as an actor, was it tough to...
You know, it wasn't actually blue screen and green
Oh,
screen
really?
so much.
Real?
Yeah, I'm like depth, there was, but what you're doing in front of that blue screen always matters. And the most important thing, I think people have this, and me too, including me, I used to think that all these CG and blue screens, they help you to better your performance, but it doesn't.
Very difficult, no?
You need to be
need the reality,
in tune and use your imagination about, you need to actually imagine what would happen or the final product, and then kind of participate
So
in
you can
that.
end up overdoing it also, right?
Of course, yes. Of course. Looking 15 degrees left and it
And also
looks
expressions.
unreal.
Imagine you're saying, and actually a little tuntu is coming out. So the director also has to be in sync. So does that take a lot of prep time also to shoot in chroma?
When it's a face replacement, yes, it does.
Okay.
When it's just you are adding something to the shot, then you're just not concerned because you're not concerned about what's
That's
back
what happened
there.
later on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like the first sequence of my character in the flashback, he needs to do a lot of action. So I'm fighting real guys
In a real location,
in
yeah.
real locations. But yes, you add stuff, and that's CG. And
So is this the action that you used to constantly be doing when you were in the gym?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, that's
So,
exactly.
so I have to say something. So Sushant is boringly similar every day. Imagine he used to come and do similar sets of exercise every single day. The same thing. I'm going, don't you get bored? So this is like a really long time in the coming.
True.
So when you did all the action in this, is this more your zone now that you know to be able to take? So I say this to Kangana also. Heavy prepped roles. You don't do any light films, man. PK was the lightest film that you've
But
done.
I enjoy it. It's like I would pay to do all these things.
Yeah.
I'm getting paid. So
Yeah, you're learning, your skill set is increasing.
I don't have complaints. Why I used to do it all the time, the same thing. I think deliberate repetition is very much required because I'll tell you why. The character in the flashback is known for his fighting skills.
Okay.
And the first time he's introduced, the audience already has an
like a warrior.
idea about
Yeah.
the guy, and he just has a minute to fight and prove it right. Prove the perception right.
Correct.
So that 1 minute, each and every movement should be so effortless that, yes, you are convinced right there and there. And another important thing I feel is that it's a very delicate job for an actor to convince the audience that you're somebody else in those 2 hours. But if you already have lured them into one character, it's even more difficult to convince them that you're somebody else too in those 2 hours.
But they better like both the characters. They can't just like one, right? It's not two
Yeah.
films. It has to
Like
be
two
still the same
we,
film.
we hope they like both the characters.
So story-wise, they are connected, but these two guys just are diametrically opposite from each other. So you have to do a lot
And
of
also
prep to make them convincing.
the flashback, I feel, comes for a shorter time. There's more of contemporary, and there's about 25 minutes, say, of the flashback. So for us to make the audience believe into that different world first, which none of us have a reference of. We've not seen that before. It's not the normal Raja Rani who are like royally dressed and all of that.
The audience seems to have a perception of it and a reference of it because they seem to want to compare it to another film. But yeah, that's the point.
Why are you like repeating it?
There are only
I don't
eight-
know.
There are only 8 stories that get repeated every time.
8?
Yes.
Now there's only one actually. I'm telling you, there's only one love story that gets.
One love story, but 8 different stories.
That's true. But when you talk about perfection and you know the amount of work that he does, what's the most irritating thing about Sushant on the set?
Most irritating thing
As a person or as an actor, is there
on
something?
the set.
Oh, she would have few.
I think he's a little, at times he's a little impatient. You know, he's like really restless. Like, okay, he can't like sit straight also like this. So he's very restless. And he's impatient at times. Like
I mean, with even a co-actor?
sometimes. So it's like,
What do you mean? How do you
Yeah.
mean? I mean,
So you have to give your shot fast and make sure you get it right.
no, it's not about that. It's not about that. But if I'm like, if I feel like there are times when he's felt that my take was like really good, and the director also felt. But sometimes you internally you're like, no, I want one more. Things like he's like, but it was really good. I was like, no, but I want one more. So like that.
So he's bossy and he's impatient.
He's impatient in general. He's a restless soul.
But that's a really nice bad thing to say about someone. So there's nothing else that irks you as a co-actor?
On sets,
no,
Okay, even in the van outside or in between the shots, when he's not practicing his cricket.
but he's gonna say the same thing about me. But he's very strongly opinionated.
that is so wrong. The only
He's
strong.
very strongly
That is
opinionated.
wrong. The only strong opinion I have is that I don't have strong opinions. That's it.
He
Black is black and it's his way only.
yeah, he will try and argue and convince, but he'll say the same thing about me. So I think
No.
I think
So
the fact
you
that
can't do reactionary things.
I think-
I'll tell you why.
the
I'll tell you
reason-
why she feels. Oh, no, let me speak. I'll tell you why she feels like that. So in the topics where it's very subjective and debatable, she has strong opinions. She thinks she's right.
Yeah.
In the matters of Newton's laws and other things that are right,
One second.
one right and many wrongs.
One second.
It's not having an opinion. It's
So in
knowing the
absolute
fact.
terms, he's right about that. So you can't sit and say,
No, so
Sachin
he
didn't
feels
score
that
100
he's right.
hundreds. And I'm an IELTS.
but I don't talk to him about Newton's law and
Okay.
stuff. In general, his opinions are very strong, and I think this is why sometimes we end up having a clash because we're both like really, I am right and I will not agree to you. That kind
And
of.
how much time did you spend on this film together?
Oh, 1.5 years.
1.5 years.
Yeah, starting
back
from
and forth.
starting
Back and forth,
from
yeah.
reading and
So
then
in
preparation.
1.5 years, this is all you found bad. That's not too bad.
That
is
Sushant.
like-
That's not too bad. So who was like the best tempered person on the set? Coolest. Yeah?
Yeah.
खुद ही बोल दिया.
You're like a Buddha.
पता है उसका.
Are you like a Buddha?
Yeah, she.
And more short-tempered? Director, I mean...
No, director was the second most calmest.
So,
Most calmest.
I think खुद ही बोल रहा हूँ, मैं नहीं बोल रही हूँ.
so what is it that really irritates you on a set?
Yeah, I'm a bit impatient. Yeah.
So,
So when things are not,
what if you have really older senior actors?
I'm a good actor, so I will pretend that nothing is happening.
So that's a good thing. But otherwise, is it tough knowing that you'll have a long schedule with someone? Do you all try not to have small trivial fights also, so that you maintain the peace of a set? I've always wanted to know that between actors. छोड़ यार, अभी 30 days और schedule है. अभी आज लड़ाई शुरू हो जाएगी तो it'll keep carrying on, it'll affect the scene and all. Do you sometimes put that aside?
No, I think I have this problem. I don't remember things for long. So I don't have to worry about this because I know that even if I'm feeling something and I think that is gonna stay with me, I will forget. I would
that's
remember.
amazing.
Yes, I would remember that I was angry on something.
So he's like a goldfish, is he?
But I would not remember this.
No, but
Not agreeing to anything you say.
He is very professional in that if at all, even if there's been a tiff or whatever, when he's on set and working, it's all good and it's all like nice and sweet.
Right.
With me, if I've had like a misunderstanding or something with someone, I have to solve it.
Yeah,
Like
same.
I'm like this. I have to solve it. Till I don't solve it, I'm restless.
You also Leo?
So yeah.
No, I'm a Scorpio. But I have Leo parents. So, I have seen it every single day in front of my life.
Yeah.
Things to eat on the set. Was this set one of those nice party times or looking at the both of you? No, I don't think so, right?
No. It was, except for the Mauritius schedule, I feel.
Yeah.
So you...
We used to have phases when we were like, no, up diet karna, and then we used to have phases where we were like, Rajma chawal kahan hai?
Yeah, the flashback,
Yeah.
yes, for those 2 months in between.
Obviously, yeah.
And while shooting for it, yes, I was less on carbs and more on proteins. But in the Budapest, I was in the fit, and also I was fit, and at the same time, I have to make sure that it's not as fit as the
you can't have a
flashback.
six-pack everywhere. थोड़ा अलग
So I could eat.
6-pack hai,
अच्छा, six-pack
but
है.
6 ka 8 हो जाता है.
Actually, इसका six-pack कभी गया नहीं. मैंने सिर्फ उसका पतला waist ही देखा है. We were the expanding ones on top. But when you do a film that has become a super hit, and then you have another film just coming out, suddenly the box office pressure of this, now it's going to sit on your head forever. 100 crore.
नहीं वो तो उनका प्रेशर है जो ऐसा सोच रहे हैं. I don't. I'll give you an example. And it's a thing that I realized that I slogged a lot for Byomkesh.
Yeah.
And
I love that film, by the way. Very good film.
Thank you.
And I think they were planning to make 2 also. So the thing is, there was not enough drama. There was a film that had come years back that Hrithik Roshan had done with Farhan Akhtar. Lakshya. That was a great film. You know why it failed? And I remember asking people at that time, and I never used to review or view films. They said, "ऐसे कोई मरता है क्या?"
I didn't know it failed. Did it fail?
Yeah, it didn't do well at all. So they said, ऐसे मरना चाहिए. भारत में drama होना चाहिए. Chandrakanta type series. I said, are you? So I think that was ahead of its time.
Whatever. So it didn't open well on Friday,
Yeah.
and I was slightly disappointed. Saturday, Sunday, Monday morning, I was completely okay. Now Dhoni, it opened brilliantly on Friday. Great, smashing weekend. And I was again completely okay on Monday. So I am investing 6 months to 1 year for a film. I cannot screw up that 1 year just to have a spike on that weekend. So I just don't think about it.
Also, you're one of the few actors who has many projects lined up also. ये नहीं चली तो it's fine. Doesn't matter. There are more coming.
Surely नहीं है. यहाँ पे बॉलीवुड में ऐसा होता है एक फ्लॉप हुई बाकी सारे फोन उठाने बंद कर देते. तो हाँ ऐसा भी हो सकता है. So but I'm myopic. I don't think.
But I think you should be there also, and I think that it does help. But like I said, it also helps when you have some interesting projects that people can talk about. You see the PR articles are at least written about it. Otherwise, what are you going to say? He's going to the moon in one, he's doing something else in one. It's nice. Even if they don't get made, at least it works very well. But I'm so happy to actually see something that we had said years back proved right. Sushant, thank you so much for joining us. Kriti, thank you so much for joining us and jailing him for this much time. Also, I can see that he was rather pressing on you as well.
No.
Till the next, no.
No.
Sweet. Yeah.
I'm very sweet.
We end on a sweet note. Till the next time, bye-bye and take care. And Raabta it is. Make sure you go check it out.
9th of June, please.
Yep, it'll be worth your wait.